Hi, I'm Nicole. Today I'm going to walk you through a heart opener and Psoas Release. Let's begin. We're going to start on the back. Do a little bit of breathing exercises here. So maybe you start with your legs in a reclined butterfly. Maybe you keep them in front of you if you prefer. You can place your hand on your belly, on your heart. You can place them to the sides of your body. And you're just going to breathe here. Take a big breath in. And a long breath out. Notice your breath. Notice the air fill your lungs as you breathe into your body. Notice the sensation as the air leaves your nose. Focus on inhales, long exhales. Notice the sensations in your belly and your legs and your arms as you breathe through your body. Notice any thoughts that might be coming into your head. Just notice them. And breathe. As the air starts to wake up your body, notice any energy that moves through. Whenever you're ready, you can bring your knees together, either pull them up from a long position or from a reclined butterfly. And grab behind your hamstrings and rock and roll up to the tabletop position. In tabletop, you'll have your hands directly beneath your shoulders, your knees directly beneath your hips. If this feels uncomfortable for you, we have an option in just a second. We're going to move into cat-cow breathing. So to breathe in cat-cow, you drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tailbone, lift your chin up towards the sky. And on your breath out, arch your back, tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin. The other option here would be just to do this sitting on your heels. Breath in, bring your belly forward, bring your chin up, bring your tailbone out. Breath out, arch your back, pull your chin to your chest. You can move here for a few breaths. Breath out, cat. Breathe in, cow. And keep moving through this for a few more breaths. Return to neutral. Whenever you're ready, we're going to thread the needle. Unthread the needle. If you are sitting on your heels, you can just cross your arm across your body and pull with your other arm. If you are preferring cat-cow, tabletop, you can raise your right arm up to the sky, thread it underneath your body, and you'll just lay on that shoulder, pressing your ear to the mat. Maybe you leave your hand here. Maybe you stretch your left arm all the way in front. Notice sensations in your body. Notice any tension, any release. If you feel any pain in your shoulder, you can come out of it. And your next breath in, you can place that palm right under your shoulder. Rise that right arm all the way back up to the sky. And place it directly beneath you back to a neutral tabletop. Again, if you're back in your heels, we're just going to do the opposite side. Your left arm across your body. Pull with your right arm to get a deep shoulder stretch. If you are in tabletop, same thing. Left arm up to the sky, breath in. Underneath your body, breath out. Again, maybe you leave your right arm here, maybe you stretch it out in front of you. And notice sensations in your body. Next breath in, rise back up. And meet back in tabletop. Now we'll move into child's pose. A couple of options for child's pose. You can either leave your knees closed and just crawl forward here, or knees on either side of the mat, crawl forward here. Place your forehead on the mat if it will meet you there. Stretch your arms out in front of you. Maybe you use your fingers to pull your shoulders a little bit further, maybe not. Notice any sensations in your low back and your hips and your knee. And we'll start to increase a little bit of movement here. So begin to rise up on your breath in, moving into baby camel. Place both hands behind you. You can either stay here or on your breath out, lift your hips up to the sky. Maybe you drop your neck back. Lower those hips back down, roll back into child's pose. You can either stay in child's pose or keep moving through this sequence back and forth, matching breath with movement. Breathe in, rise up. Breathe out, tilt back. You can lift your hips up to the sky if you prefer. Just keep moving back between child's pose and baby camel. Ending this sequence here, you can begin to rise up into a downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift your knees up, hips up and back to the sky. Our first down dog of the day. You can pedal your feet. You can notice your heels moving, sinking towards the earth. You can notice any weight in your hands as you push through your hands to get further into down dog. Don't forget to breathe here. Notice the sensations in your body, in your hamstrings, and your calves, and your shoulders. When you breath in, you can place your left foot a little bit more towards the center of the mat. Raise your right foot up and back into a three-legged dog. And when you breath out, step forward into a low lunge. When you breath in, you rise up into a high lunge. Maybe you lower your knee here. Maybe you leave it raised up. When you breath out, pull your arms back into angel wings. Breath in, rise those arms back up, look up towards the sky. Breath out, place your arms on either side of your foot. You step your right leg back into a high plank position. Maybe again you can lower your knees here. Look forward and lower all the way to the ground. Breath in, rise up into cobra, just a little bit of a back bend. Pulling up from that low back. Breath out, lower to the floor. Breath in, back to down dog, tuck your toes, hover your knees off the floor, push up and back into a downward facing dog. Again, you can pedal out your feet here. Notice sensations in your body. Opposite side, you can place that right foot a little bit more towards center. Raise your left leg up and back into three-legged dog. Your breath out, step into that low lunge. Option to lower your knee. Breathe in, rise all the way up to the sky. Breath out, half angel wings. Breathe in, arms straight, look up towards the sky. Maybe give yourself a little back bend. Breath out, lower your hands to frame your foot. Step back into a high plank position. Always the option to lower your knees here. And lower all the way to the floor. Breathe in, cobra. Breathe out, lower back down. Breathe in, hover your knees, tuck your toes, lift your body up and back into downward facing dog. Look up to the top of your mat. You could walk, step, or hop all the way to your hands, forward fold. Breathe in, arms up. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. You can leave your hands on the floor, on your ankles, on your shins. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in all the way up to the sky. Breathe out, forward fold. We'll repeat that whole sequence one more time. Step back into a downward facing dog here. You always have the option to come back to child's pose, to just stay in downward dog. Or we can move through the sequence again. So again, three-legged dog, right leg up and back. Breath out, low lunge. Breath in, rise up, high lunge. Breath out, half angel wings. Breathe in, arms up, look up to the sky. Breathe out, frame your foot, low lunge. Breathe in, step back into a plank. Breathe out, move through chaturanga. Here you can go all the way to the floor like we've been doing, or you can pause halfway and push up into a upward facing dog. Push up and back, downward facing dog. Left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Breath out, low lunge. Breath in, arms up to the sky. Breath out, half angel wings. Breath in, arms up, look up to the sky. Breath out, frame your foot, step back into a high plank. Always the option to lower your knee here. Big breath in. Breath out, lower to the floor. Breath in, upward facing dog or cobra. Breath out, downward facing dog. Take some breaths here. Always the option to lower your knees and pull back into child's pose. Or stay in downward facing dog. Notice sensations in your body. Notice if you're feeling out of breath, if you feel powerful, if you feel nervous. Any sensations are okay, just notice them. Notice if your body feels hot. Notice the energy moving through your body. And always come back to your breath. Go back into three-legged dog. Place your left foot a little bit more towards center. Lift your right leg up and back. Moving into scorpion dog, you can either bend your knee, stay here. Maybe you open that hip up into a scorpion dog. Notice sensations in your right hip. Maybe you move into a wild thing, flipping over and reaching that arm back behind you. If you flipped your dog, move back into a three-legged dog. If you're in scorpion, go ahead and straighten your leg back up. Bring your knee towards your chin and your nose, coming into a semi-plank position. Step your leg forward into a low lunge. We're gonna do a small back bend here if you'd like. You can lower your knee or you can leave it raised, whichever you prefer. Lift your arms up to the sky and pull back into a short back bend. Looking up towards the sky, breathe here. If you notice any sensations of discomfort or pain, come back into a straight body. Your breath out, go ahead and frame your foot. Lift your left leg back, straighten that front knee, and we're gonna set up for pyramid. So pyramid pose, your back leg might not be able to stay here, so you can hop it forward a little bit, whatever your comfort level is. We're looking to kind of straighten both of these knees. Lift up into a halfway lift, and then lower towards your body. You can either just stay here and let gravity kind of take you further and further into the stretch, or on every breath in, you can breathe in, halfway lift, breathe out, move into that fold. Notice sensation in your hamstrings, maybe your calves, maybe your shoulders, maybe your back. Just notice sensations. Notice your breath if it feels more constricted in this pose. Sorry, I forgot to mention, if you need blocks, you can always hold blocks here. Props are there to help. I forgot to bring my blocks today, so I wasn't able to show them, but pyramid is always a good one to use a couple of blocks. Even a chair, if you don't have blocks, just a chair to put next to you and kind of rest on a little bit. It'll help keep injury from falling too deep into that fold. Another option is just to kind of press into your shin if you don't have anything to hold on to. All right, stepping back into downward facing dog. We will repeat that whole sequence on the other side. So three-legged dog, left leg up and back. Then go ahead and bend that knee, stay here, or open up that hip into a scorpion dog. Maybe you flip your dog into a wild thing. Reaching your left arm behind you. Maybe ready. Move back into a three-legged dog from wherever you are. And your breath in, bring your knee towards your chin, your nose, moving into a semi-plank position. Step your left leg all the way through. Moving, setting up for that crescent back bend again. So you can lower your knee or leave it raised up. Raise your arms up to the sky. Maybe lean back into a little back bend. Notice sensations in your legs, maybe your hip flexors, maybe your front of your quad. Go ahead and frame your foot again and set it for pyramid. So we're going to straighten both those legs. Again, if you want to grab some blocks here, that's always helpful. You can use your hands to kind of prop up on your knee, but first we got to, not your knee, your shin. First we got to step up into a position that's comfortable for you. Breathe in, halfway lift. Again, you can use your leg here as a little bit of a prop. Breathe out, forward fold over that front leg. Same thing, you can let gravity just kind of take you and sink you into this fold, or in your breath in, halfway lift, breath out, forward fold. Notice any thoughts that come to your body, come to your mind, as you're loosening up some of the tension in your psoas and your hamstrings, in your low back. Notice any messages you're telling yourself. Notice your breath. If your body is shaking, that's okay. Whenever you're ready, move back into that low lunge. And then step back into a downward facing dog. Breathe here. You just did a lot of movement in your body. So if you feel hot, if you feel sweaty, if you feel energy, if you feel anxiety, whatever you feel, it's okay. It's normal. Just notice it. Sometimes the same energy that we use when we're activating our body, when we're warming up, when we're getting our heart pumping, it can feel the same as how anxiety might feel. So just notice if it feels similar. Know that your body is safe. When you're ready, bring your knees to the floor, moving back into a child's pose, either knees together or knees on opposite side of your mat. And we're going to move into the same sequence that we did earlier today. So breath in, come up, breath out, place your hands behind you, baby camel. Options will be your hips on your heels. Crawl back into that child's pose and move through the sequence just a few times. Notice if it feels any different from when we did it earlier. If your body feels any looser, any warmer, if your breath feels any different. Whenever you're ready to stop, you can always just pause in child's pose, or you can keep the movement going. Moving into our final stretches for the day, cooling down our body. Go ahead and tuck your toes, come back up into a downward facing dog. Our familiar three-legged dog on the right side, lift your right leg back up. And here we'll move into pigeon pose. I will give you an alternate if you prefer in just a second. So pigeon pose, you'll have your knee kind of close to your wrist. Your ankle can be close to your wrist in a parallel, or it can be tucked closer to your body. And you're gonna lower that back leg down. Here, you can breathe in, raise your body up to the sky. Option to stay here, option to come to your elbows, option to move all the way to the floor, placing your head on the mat, and breathe. An alternate, if pigeon pose is not your favorite, is just coming onto your back, forward leg across your forward. You just put your ankle over your knee, thread the needle with your hands and pull towards your body. And breathe there as well. I'm going to be back in a pigeon because it's my favorite. And we'll just breathe here. When you're ready, you're going to come back up into a downward facing dog. If you're on your back, stay there and set up for figure four on the opposite side. Pulling your leg towards your body. Moving into opposite side pigeon pose, left leg up and back. Bring your knee forward, knee to wrist. Ankle maybe to your wrist, maybe it's closer towards your body. Straighten your body, maybe stay here. Option to come down to your elbows. Option to come all the way down to the mat, placing your forehead on the mat. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and rise back up. Sorry, I could fall asleep in pigeon pose. Place your hands underneath you. If you're on your back, stay there. Just go ahead and let your legs relax. If you're moving back into downward dog, lower your knees and meet everybody else on their backs. From here, we'll move into fish pose. Fish pose can move in multiple different ways, but let's start with our hands underneath our glutes, elbows out to the side. Here, you begin to rise up from your center of your chest as if somebody's pulling it straight up towards the sky. Your breath in, breath out. Breath in, begin to raise, chest towards the sky, head falls back, stay on the floor. Breathe here. Most of your shoulders are hunching up, trying to move them out to a neutral position towards the mat. Here, another option will be to raise your legs up to the sky, or just leave them to the floor. Your breath out, lower back down. Morning stretch. Stretch your arms all the way up above you, legs all the way pointing towards the opposite end. Big breath in. Breath out, give yourself a big hug. Maybe you rock around here. Maybe you massage that lower back. Maybe you stay still, just hug your body, thanking it for everything it did this day. Final breath in. Breathe out, Shavasana. Let your arms go to the side. Let your legs relax to neutral position. Just breathe. Begin to deepen your breaths. Notice the air move through your body. Maybe you wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe you lick your lips. Maybe you activate your body in any way that you know how. Whenever you're ready, roll over to one side. Let your head just cradle in your arm. Take a couple of breaths here. As you rise back up to a seated position, think about everything that you notice in your body today. Thank your body for being safe and existing with you. Thank you for joining me today.